Emily stared at the yellow flower pinned to the lapel of her late husband's suit jacket. It was the same flower she had worn in her hair on their wedding day 62 years ago. The same flower Joe had surprised her with every anniversary since, even after Alzheimer's began stealing him away, piece by piece. This final yellow blossom would be buried with him today, a symbol of their enduring love. As the church bells tolled, Emily smoothed the front of her black dress with wrinkled hands that had held Joe's through so much, the birth of their 3 children, cross-country moves for his job, her battle with breast cancer. Those same hands now trembled as she walked unsteadily to the podium to deliver Joe's eulogy. Emily looked out at the sea of faces, blurred through her tears. She took a deep breath. I met Joe when I was 18 years old, young and naive. He was a few years older, handsome and kind. I knew from our very first date, when he showed up with a yellow daisy and that signature crooked smile, that he was the one. Emily shared stories of their early courtship, evoking laughter as she recounted awkward moments and tender glances. She described their humble beginnings, barely scraping by on his meager factory wages while she stayed home with the babies. Through it all, even when they could scarcely afford groceries, Joe would always bring home a single yellow blossom for her. Then one day, out of the blue when our youngest was 12, I found a lump. Emily's voice caught. It was cancer. I was terrified we wouldn't make it, that I'd leave Joe to raise the kids alone. But he was my rock. He drove me to every appointment, held me when I cried, told me how beautiful I was, even when I lost my hair. When I rang the bell after my last radiation treatment, he was right there waiting with a bouquet of yellow daisies. Emotion overtook Emily. She pressed a hand to her heart, steadying herself before continuing. We had a wonderful life together, adventures and quiet moments, ups and downs. We weren't perfect, but we were partners in every sense. I always knew, no matter what, that Joe would be by my side. Emily gazed down again at the yellow petals adorning Joe's jacket. 62 years of marriage. 62 years of yellow flowers from the love of my life. Even when Joe got sick, when he could scarcely remember my name, he never once forgot my daily flower. Pretty like sunshine, he'd always say. Tears now flowed freely down Emily's face. I don't know how I'll go on without him. He made me promise not to follow too quickly. Said he'd be waiting for me with all the yellow flowers I could ever want. Emily smiled through her tears. Save some for me, my darling. Emily made her way slowly back to the front pew and sat heavily, a frail figure awash in grief. Her gaze remained fixed on that single yellow blossom as she whispered, "Thank you for 62 years, for choosing me, for loving me, through good times and bad. You were my person, Joe. Always will be." Emily's eldest daughter wrapped a supportive arm around her mother's trembling shoulders. "He adored you, Mom. Your love was once in a lifetime." Emily nodded as silent tears coursed down her face. She knew their love had been special, the kind of love little girls dream of and old women remember wistfully. 62 years of partnership, 62 years of yellow flowers from her one true love. She would carry their story, his story, in her heart for however many days she had left, until she could join him. "I'll be seeing you," Emily whispered. A week later, Emily was puttering around the empty house when the doorbell rang. Shuffling over, she opened the door to find a deliverman holding a large bouquet of yellow daisies. Confused, Emily accepted the flowers with shaking hands, then carried them to the kitchen table. As she searched for a card, Emily's heart quickened. She feared someone had made a terrible mistake, unable to accept Joe was gone. But then she spotted it, a small white envelope tucked deep within the yellow petals. Her name was written on the front in Joe's unmistakable shaky scrawl. With trembling fingers, Emily unsealed the envelope and withdrew a handwritten note. Tears sprang to her eyes as she read, "My dearest Emily, if you're reading this, it means I've gone on ahead. I'm so sorry to leave you, but please know that the years we shared were the happiest of my life. You brought color to my world, sweetheart. That's why I always gave you yellow flowers, to show you how much brightness and sunshine you brought to my every day. I know the days ahead will be hard. There will be moments of unbearable grief. But I hope you'll be able to take comfort in the beautiful life we built, the love we shared, the family we created together. I've arranged for more flowers to arrive in the weeks to come, on special dates, anniversaries, for when the loneliness feels overwhelming. A reminder that even though I'm gone, my love for you remains. I know it's not the same, but I pray these yellow petals bring you some solace. Take care of yourself, my darling. Enjoy our children and grandchildren. Keep dancing even without me. I'll be right there with you, smiling at my beautiful sunshine girl. Save a yellow flower for me. All my love, always Joe. Emily held the letter to her heart as joyful sobs racked her body. Even in death, Joe had found a way to express his enduring love and devotion. She would cherish these final bouquets, a symbol of their once-in-a-lifetime connection. In the difficult months that followed, true to his word, Joe's flowers continued arriving like clockwork, on birthdays and holidays, anniversaries and random Tuesdays. Each blossom felt like a hug from her beloved husband, a silent message of comfort from beyond the grave. Emily would pluck a single flower from each delivery to press between the pages of their weathered wedding album, then display the rest throughout the house. A reminder to all who visited of the deep affection she and Joe had shared. As time passed, the raw, searing pain gradually transformed into a dull, persistent ache, the knowledge that a piece of Emily's heart was forever missing. Some days, the emptiness felt suffocating. But on the darkest days, Joe's bouquets arrived without fail, providing a much-needed burst of color. Sunny petals and green stems became Emily's lifeline. One morning, nearly a year after Joe's passing, Emily received an unexpected knock at the door. She had almost forgotten. Today would have been their 63rd wedding anniversary. Sure enough, there on the porch sat an overflowing vase of yellow daisies, the most elaborate arrangement yet. As Emily stooped down to retrieve the card, a voice asked, "Nana." Emily turned to see her granddaughter Lily standing nervously behind her. Lily had been especially close to Joe. "I found this with the flowers," Lily said shyly, extending her hand. In it was a small velvet box. Brows furrowed, Emily accepted the box and cracked it open. Inside sat Joe's wedding ring, polished to a bright shine. Another note was tucked underneath. "My sunshine, from this day forward, you'll carry my heart next to yours. I love you, I love you, I love you. Yours always, Joe." Overcome with emotion, Emily slid Joe's ring onto her thumb, where it nestled against her own wedding band. She pulled Lily into a fierce embrace. "Thank you," Emily murmured. Lily smiled. "I know how much you miss him. We all do. But Nana, your love story, it's one for the ages. The kind of love people write books about. Ballads, even." Emily dabbed at her eyes as Lily helped her to her feet. "He was it for me," Emily whispered. "My one great love. And you for him," Lily affirmed. "For 62 years, Gramps adored you in ways most people only dream of being loved. You made each other better." Lily gestured to the sea of yellow flowers spread across the living room. "And even now, he's still showing you." Emily nodded, unable to speak around the lump in her throat. Lily was right. The proof of Joe's devotion was everywhere. In the flowers, in their children, in a lifetime's worth of precious memories. "Why don't you tell me a story about him?" Lily suggested. "Your favorite." Emily smiled, recalling that magical day 63 years ago when she'd stood across from the love of her life and promised him forever. How they danced until dawn, drunk on champagne and blissful newlywed hope. How he'd tucked a yellow daisy behind her ear and told her she was his sunshine. As Emily began recounting the tale to an enraptured Lily, she felt Joe's presence everywhere, warming her from the inside out. He was in each yellow petal, each joyful tear, each cherished recollection. Their love had been a rare and beautiful thing, a flower that bloomed brighter with every passing year. Emily knew she would see her beloved Joe again someday. Until then, she would honor his memory by finding beauty in the little things, by putting one foot in front of the other. For now, Emily would live for them both. She would carry their love story forward until her final breath. And when her time came to reunite with Joe, she knew he'd be there waiting, a yellow blossom in hand. For theirs was a love that transcended time and space, an affection of the ages. Theirs was a love to build a life on. In the meantime, Emily had yellow flowers, precious memories, and the promise of forever. It was enough. He was enough. They were enough. After all, true love stories never really end.